You see, because you want to appreciate the energy that is actually running the system, which is this what people call this a world as matrix. They say it's an illusion, but what have you measured it against to know that it's an illusion? What other reality have you been in to know that this one is an illusion? Because those are questions people have to ask themselves. These are just genuine questions. If you tell me this world is an illusion, I'm just going to ask you, okay, what are you measuring it against to know it's an illusion? And how does reality looks like? Versus an illusion. Because people want to use that angle of illusion so that they escape their actions. And that mindset comes from narcissists who are these so-called people who call themselves elite. If you are really elite, you don't need to call yourself an elite being. You know you are elite. So when we used to watch those badass movies, like Rambo, Commando, and Bruce Willis' version of Die Hard, we used to think these people are badass, Jet Li and all that. Why pick movies? Because movies are structured to move people in a certain direction. If you know who you really are, you don't need to project yourself to the world. If you're projecting yourself, it means you're not appreciating your own truth. But you can, if you want to, because it's a choice. If you love yourself, you can project yourself. If you go to this jewelry, because I like picking those shops, the gold is put on display, diamond is put on display, sapphire is put on display. All this they call rare elements. If you think you're going to diminish the number of angels because there are a small number of angels, how much gold is there in the world? Is it flooding the world? Everything that is good is always in rare situations, not in crowded. Otherwise, sand will be there being sold in these shops. Who is there buying sand? And maybe saying, I want to buy a ring made of sand, or a chain made of sand. Because that which is in large quantities has less value. That's how reality is just positioning things. Take the concept of demand and supply. When the supply of something is high, the demand starts also tanking, even though in the beginning, initially, maybe the demand might be equal to the supply. But what happens when the consumers are now satisfied with the supply of a particular product? It starts losing its interest. But what happens when the supply of a product is less? The demand will be high. That's why you see all these drugs. They are usually expensive, more than just a regular over-the-counter medicine. Why? Because the supply is kind of regulated and the demand is high, because everyone wants to be high. You cannot hate drugs and say it's bad when you also want to be one with the most high. See, that's why I say people need to read these manuscripts. Read the books, it will be easier for you to navigate in life. Because that which you think you actually hate is actually that which you love. Because if you want to be high and experience spirituality in its truest sense, you will read those books, because there's incense. What elements are there to make this incense? there to create a high effect. People call it hallucination. Because if you put the word hallucination, it looks like a drug and it looks like a bad word. Because they say you're seeing something that you're not supposed to see. It means your awareness has actually expanded. Your intuition is actually one with your spirit. Because your spirit does not shrink. Once you shrink your mindset, your spirit does not shrink. You shrink away from your own spirit. And once you shrink away from your spirit, you start acting dumb. That's it. That's why people in religions are said to be dumb. Like sheep. Why? They shrink their intuition. They don't want to read the books. They want to be told by another person standing on these pulpits. Then they want to use this concept, we were told that there'll be false teachers. Who told you? Just read the book by yourself. Why do you want to be told? This is not a rumor mill kind of situation. Like a celebrity rumor mill. Like you're watching BET and BET Entertainment and you want to be listen who's dating who and who. At least there's facts in that. Your mind is actually designed to appreciate facts. Yes, even that which you cast out as a lie is actually a misguided fact to cover up a certain fact. Because the world, from the beginning, from the heavens all the way down to earth, because in hell nothing is covered. That's why people are doing all these contractual obligations. Because they want money. Heaven, the story was covered up about the angels. Why they decided to check out. If you check out, someone says you are fallen. Fallen from grace. So many angels have come here and they have been trapped. Why? They chose to sacrifice to come and try to teach people find their ways back to the heavens. They get their wings ripped off by Michael's sword. Because if you have noticed how military handles business, even these court martials of militaries, if you check those cases and you put it in a normal court, they will be thrown out immediately. You see, because people are told this mindset of so long as it does not affect you, don't bother having an interest in it. If you cast shadow in your truth, that shadow will start expanding. Very soon it will cover you. As soon as it covers you, no one will want to hear your truth. Notice the energy of the world these days. No one wants to hear any other person's truth because they'll say theirs was not heard. So if you hear a concept like bind Sam Gaza and his associates, or in other books they call them the reprobates, if you read the Holy Tablets by himself, Yanun, is Gael, for those who know. It's an interesting book. Like 1500, 1700 page book which covers a lot of things, science, religion, reality. But you are reading these books not because you are saying that is the truth, you are appreciating their concept. Because whoever wrote that book wrote it in their truth. Because maybe the way Dr. York wrote it is not the way it may look these days, because people like editing things. And the fact that Dr. York is in prison, then he cannot be able to be out here to defend his truth, you see.